You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Good day, good evening. We hope that you are joining us for the third time today. If so, welcome back. Otherwise, welcome. We are thrilled to have you. You're watching Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, the business talk show. I am your host, executive producer, director, and broadcast engineer. With me, as always, is the phenomenal Mr. Cini. Welcome. There he is in the house.
we're finally getting used to knowing what direction to point in.
I know. It's right. I know. It takes a lot of work.
As soon as we get that worked out, we're going to forget, and we're going to stop doing it. But Dr. Jacalyn, listen, let me tell you something. We've got a terrific guest, a returning guest. Her name is Heather Dean, and she's a great find. I know you and she are really good friends. She's becoming a good friend of mine. It is conventional wisdom that you can't sell anything during the summer. That's the conventional wisdom. You can't sell anything during the summer. Nobody's going to pay attention until September. You might as well just give up, right? Well,
yes.
That's a lie. And Heather is here to explain some principles she's developed that can turn summer into kind of a gold mine of marketing if you just know how to do it. And I think that's something everybody in our audience needs to pay attention to.
I agree with you, and we are welcoming back Heather Dean. She is incredible. I do love her. She is a wonderful person. She's also very talented. She's an author. She's a media coach. She's a public relations guru. She has her own podcast. She was a former celebrity interviewer. I mean, we could go on and on. But one thing I want to say, when I was growing up, I worked for my dad, and he was a car dealer, my dad and my uncle. And we would say, nobody's going to come in the dealership, Dad. It's the summer. People aren't buying cars. They're at the beach. They're here. They're there. And he would say, okay, what are you going to say in the winter? It's snowing, so people can't come in now. What are you going to say in the fall?
Yeah.
But there is this misnomer that nothing's happening this summer, that people are just out enjoying themselves and relaxing, but business continues, and it's a great opportunity for business owners to seize this time to bring value to their clients. So
the
clients and their
way
customers.
You lose is by you just don't play. I mean, if you don't play, you can't win. And so what Heather's bringing to us today are a couple of plays, things we can actually do to make.
She actually has 8 things for us to do, and she's got a bonus. So let's bring her out. She's joining us from Jerusalem. Hello, Heather.
Hi,
Heather,
guys.
how are you?
Good to see you, Al, and wonderful as always to see you, Dr. Jacalyn.
Such a pleasure.
It feels like a reunion. I love it.
Yeah. Always.
It's always good to have you on the show, and you're always up to amazing things. I've learned so much from you. So I introduced you, obviously does not give you any, it's a small little piece of the iceberg in terms of everything that you've already accomplished in your life. But I'm going to highlight you. You had this incredible career as a celebrity interviewer. You lived in New York. You gave it all up. You wrote a book, and your life is totally different than it was then. So why don't we take it from where you are now, if you would love to, and then also a little promotion about your book. It's available on Amazon.
Great.
Right. Thank you so much. Yeah, the book that I wrote is indeed my memoir called Searching for Heather Dean, which is a song title written by a rock musician friend of mine back in the day. But Searching for Heather Dean is actually a story about my own searching for my authentic type of career that I should be going into, and my spiritual life and social life. It was, and we're all on a search, and we're all tips of icebergs walking around, because there's all deep icebergs underneath the surface for all of us. So in my own case, I was really blessed, I think in a supernatural way, to have had a career in broadcasting and print publication, interviewing celebrities. That is all I did from 1989, when I was 2 years old. No, I'm kidding. From 1989 until 2002, I was based in New York City. And yes, I worked in broadcasting and strictly interviewed celebrities, A-list, B-list. I love the D-list celebrities too, working for major media networks. And it was so fun, and I won't say it wasn't. I also won't say that gave my life a lot of meaning. And that's until I discovered and did my own search into the religion that I was born into, Judaism. I'm speaking to you here from Israel, which is where I live now. So something clicked and something worked and something was so much more meaningful. So here I am in Israel in this capacity and in this market as a media personality and media coach. And but I'm so excited to talk about marketing tips today because it involves my favorite thing, which is the media. Helping people find their way into the media and promote their business and further their brand. So yes, this will be a great show for entrepreneurs and business owners.
Great.
Fantastic. Heather, I have a question for you, and I think for Al as well. So for all the business owners who are watching or listening or who will be joining us at a later time, I also think there's some degree of fear about promoting your business. And especially with family business, people like to keep it all inside. And you know what I'm saying? How do you get people to break out of this mold?
So I go to what Al said in his intro, which is this mindset that we've been in for years about summer. And the thing is that if you turn that on its head, summer is actually the time where people are full of hopes and dreams. They plan a vacation, hopefully. They are just wanting to explore possibilities. And there's a lot of celebrations going on during the summer. So people are actually ready to spend. And that goes to tip number one. People are ready to spend, but all the more so if there's a coupon. All the more so if there's a special promotion to take advantage of. So the big number one tip that I have is launch that product, launch that service, and just know if there, and we can talk a little bit more about how to hype that up, but this is a great time to launch because again, summer, full of possibilities. Anything goes. What other season would you say anything goes? It's really summer.
I think you're right. Yeah.
There's so much intense brilliance in what Heather says because there are so many people are governed by self-limiting beliefs where they just decide that something's a bad idea and so they never pursue it. And it's like I said before, the only way you can lose this game is by not playing.
Right. So this is a great time to launch. So let's talk a little bit then about promotions, which goes into my tip number 2, which is about maybe taking advantage of those unique holiday themed promotions, right? So there are department stores that waste no time. When January comes around, what do? The department stores? They do what's called, it's oddly named, but it's called a white sale, which is when department stores will put big sales on sheets and bedding and mattresses. Okay, so that's seasonal. But there are some very unique holiday-themed promotions that we can do during the summer. So now that Memorial Day is past us, I'm so glad that in the United States, there's much more of a focus on what Memorial Day really is about, which is about honoring our soldiers and those who gave their lives to protect America and Americans. So I really like actually that the country was getting more into that and less, hopefully less about the commercialism. But July 4th, that's just an all-out celebration. And yes, for the greatest democracy on the planet, the United States. So July 4th is a great day to celebrate, and it's a great day to do promotions, coupons. People are out there and ready to celebrate. It's the night of fireworks. Mm-hmm. So there are some very business-friendly holidays like the July 4th. And also before then, Father's Day comes up. And after July 4th, people are going to maybe start thinking about back to school. So many kinds of different promotions you can do. And there are many, if you're in that industry that's tangential to vacations. So it's a really good time to think about some special discounts that will appeal to vacationers. So even if you are not in the travel and leisure business, so vacationers, they love summer and are looking for interesting things you can do for the summer. You know why? Because travel is going to be crazy this summer. Crazy, expensive, hard to get to a destination where you will be where it's going to be very private, because everybody's going to flock to the well-known destinations. But meanwhile, it's possible for business owners to do summer-themed events. Again, if it kind of relates to your business. So if you are a florist, or even if you are maybe just in some sort of female-oriented business or creative-oriented business, you can run a workshop that your business can sponsor. So if it's a flower arranging workshop or cake decorating, because again, that's really super festive, or paint parties are very trendy. And here where I'm in the Middle East, very trendy. A good friend of mine runs a very successful paint party. But again, these are things that are getting people out and relaxing. There's a lot of wine and paint parties. It's a good time to do a cookout. If you have your business sponsor a cookout, a barbecue, and Dr. Jacalyn is all about great branding. So you go to Dr. Jacalyn's shop, you could get Dr. Jacalyn brand, I think, hats and other kinds of paraphernalia. So let's say that your business is hosting a cookout barbecue or something. This is also a good time to pull out those that swag that has your logo on it. So those are just some summer themed things you can do with my tip number 2 about unique holiday themed promotions. And I also just want to mention that there are summer fairs going on. So you know what? Why not rent a booth? You can be any business, any kind of entrepreneurship, and yes, you can rent a booth. I have in my business rented booths for my business, and the neighboring booth, someone was a financial investor. Now, does that really belong in a summer fair? Yes, this financial investor, that's his company, he had people that spoke to him and they want to invest wisely. So yeah, rent that booth, rent that stall, make contests, hold raffles. Before I just give back the mic, one thing I'll say is do what Dr. Jacalyn does and then post these things on your social media. Okay, so your social media should have some sort of holiday theme hashtag to boost awareness, and this helps further your brand. That's the goal, further the brand, right, Dr. Jacalyn?
I'm taking
yes. I love these tips.
Watch the program later, but great ideas.
Yeah, so just to recap, the first tip is launch a new product or service. And the second tip is unique holiday themed promotions. Heather, a question I have for you is before a business owner embarks on these, should they do any research about what the competitors are doing, or does it not matter? Just go full force ahead and do your own thing.
Okay, so I'm channeling Al Cini, Mr. Strategy. And yes, of course you want to know what because you don't want to do repeats. So I'll give you an example. There's the magazine business, right? So they're doing summer promotions, and they definitely don't want to double up on the equal kind of the same kind of coverage of the same kind of stories. So Mr. July 4th back in the 90s and 2000s is Will Smith, the movie star. Because he always had some sort of debut July 4th movie, like Independence Day, whatever it was, very, very big stuff, okay? So the movie magazines would not want to double up on the same kind of Will Smith exclusive interview. They would try to do some sort of other kind of promotion. Yes, everyone wanted to get Will Smith on the cover, but you can't copy one another necessarily. So that's just publications. So yes, it is important to do your research to see what the other guys are doing, but be innovative, and you try to be the one who jumps on that first, and let them look at what you're doing and think, oh wow, now we have to come up with something else.
Thanks, Heather. Go ahead. Yeah.
I just want to say, first of all, I'm flattered that you're channeling me, and I'm relieved that you're doing it while I'm still alive.
No, I'm channeling the wisdom of that.
I appreciate that.
The wisdom.
But Heather, I want to add something to the wisdom that you offered, and and Dr. Jacalyn, that was such a great question. Often people are totally focused on their competition for no particular reason. Most people don't lose business to competitors; they lose business to customers who don't do anything at all. The real loss of business is nobody's doing anything. It's not that they're buying it from somebody else; that they're not buying it at all. They won't buy it until you tell them you got it. That's Heather's point number 1. Launch it. Don't wait. And point number 2 is, I know it's the holidays, but it's summer, but there are holidays in the summer. You could tie everything you do to a holiday to get people excited about it. And I just want to add one other element. There are a lot of companies out there that don't sell directly to consumers, but sell to other businesses. Their internal brand needs to be marketed to their people all the time, because their people need to buy their product. If their people don't buy their product, the customers never will. So there are opportunities for companies out there with employees to create terrific internal brands during the summer by staging internal summer events, the result of which are these terrific brand ambassadors who went to these events and went out and talked to people and helped you sell your stuff.
Fantastic. Yes, very smart inside baseball tip. Very, very smart. Yeah.
Nobody knows more about creating buzz than you do, Heather, and these are all great suggestions.
Thank you. I guess we're ready for tip number 3 then.
We're going to take a quick break. Sorry, we'll keep everybody on the edge of their seats for the 3rd tip. So stay with us. We'll be right back. We're going to hear from the lovely Ashley Owens.
Terrific.
Networking sucks and people suck at it, but nothing gives me more life than walking around and talking to people in an audience and really being able to identify, okay, I see where you're having trouble, let's work on fixing it. How do you help them? How do you provide value? My goal is to give them those tools to be able to go out and tackle that fear. Anywhere there's coffee is where I'll be. So I bring candy a lot to my speaking engagements. Like, of course that makes sense. I'm a little unconventional.
Ashley was very knowledgeable.
Very entertaining.
I learned a few new things, and to me that's the key.
What do you want them to say? How do you want to be perceived? You're going to get the most direct, tactical tips and practical takeaways when it comes to networking. These 2 here are super important. You'll remember once the conversation starts.
I love the tips that she gave out. I hate networking with a passion, so I feel like I can go to a meeting or event and not feel so uncomfortable.
When you're going to a presentation, you want to be educated. You also want to be entertained.
She was really fun and really personable, and everything she was saying was just very relatable.
She's got a lot of great ideas.
That will make you stand out so fast.
She comes across as someone that likes what they do and just doesn't try to sell you something.
Activity breeds results. If you're not doing anything, you're not going anywhere.
Just made me want to start networking, which I never thought I'd say before.
A networking strategy that works for you.
The session that we had with BCAT was really entertaining and enlightening. We were able to put together some very specific steps that we as individuals can take, and it was really fun to all come together and see sort of where we're going as a team and how we can all get there together.
We had a tremendous experience with the BCAT partners. One of the challenges that we have as an organization is to make sure that we have the right people in the right chairs doing the right thing. To do that well, you have to have synergy. You can try to dream up ways to make sure that your group does that, or you can rely on experts. We would recommend BCAT partners to anybody who's looking to take their organization to the next level.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Welcome back to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, the business talk show with the king of strategy, also known as Sir Alfred, on the Celebrate Great Britain Royally Rich show. And our guest, author, former celebrity interviewer, podcast host, PR, and media coach, Heather Dean. By the way, I just want to quote Ashley Owens in the clip we just saw: activity breeds results, right? Isn't that what we're talking about here with 8 summertime explosive ideas for business owners?
And another way to put it is, ain't nothing going to happen if you don't do something.
Right.
So eloquent. I love it.
Great.
So, for people just joining us, Heather has some great tips. We already went through tips 1 and 2. Tip 1, launch a new product or service. Okay, if you don't get it out there, nobody knows about it. 2, why not use the holidays, a lot of holidays in the summer, come up with a unique holiday themed promotion. All right, let's move on to number 3, Heather.
Okay, so number 3 is so perfect for summer, and it's a thing we call outdoor marketing. Outdoor marketing. So outdoors is not just about splashing around, vacation, fun. You're serious about growing your business. We're talking to the entrepreneurs out there, business owners, who want to also further their brand. And summer's a great time to do that. And it's not ironic. It's really a great time to do that. So let's think about outdoor. They're wide open spaces. So if you want to put out banners or posters around town, make sure you hang your posters where it's legal to hang posters, not on telephone light poles. Are they still around? Is that still a thing? But wherever you can. So posters are great. Banners are great. You can also hand out samples of your product if it's an actual product or if it's a service. So there are different kinds of promotional items you can give away that are tied to your service in some way. Could be. You just have to brainstorm a little bit, and a good marketing coach can help you brainstorm as to what kind of promotional gifties that are also good things that you can give out as samples. So samples are great for summer. Coupons, as I mentioned at the top of the show. You can, there are certain promotional items, stickers, visors, so you can get some inspiration from going to Dr. Jacalyn's shop and seeing what sort of promotional items that people can use will help further your brand. One thing that's also very cute in the summer especially is water bottles, and it does not cost a lot of money to get a bunch of, a couple of cases of water bottles and then have a branded label around it. That people do this a lot at celebrations. They'll say it's Marcy and Max on the water bottle, and the whole wedding party gets one of those. But you can also do that for your business. And summer, people are walking around with water bottles. They want water. So that's also a nice promotional thing you can do for your outdoor marketing. If you have a storefront, so that's fantastic, and we want to get you some traffic going into the store, obviously. And one way to do that, especially in summer, again, people want to relax and vacation and spend money, hopefully, is that just get them smiling and talking and have a good association with your storefront business. And one thing you can do, let's say that you're a candy shop, or you sell sewing supplies, or if you're even a bank. So one thing that is fun is if there's outside of your service, your storefront, having one of those giant plastic jar that people can guess how many of something that's tied to your business are there. So if it's a candy store, how many jawbreakers are in this giant jar, or if you're a sewing supply storefront, so buttons, how many buttons are there, or if it's a bank, how many pennies are in this giant plastic jar. And then the winner will be notified if they go into the bank and give their answer to a receptionist or whatever. It gets them in the bank, right? You want to get people inside the doors of your wherever your storefront is. So once they're in that store, right now, Alan knows this probably, that once you get someone inside the shop, whatever it is, they usually have in mind in their subconscious that they want to spend. They want to do something good, right? So this will help get people to the store because you'll already have them smiling and talking about this sort of promotion. If you have a shop that does that sells apparel, clothing, so you could have like a mini sidewalk fashion show of things that people can buy on the inside. And with all the teenagers having high school off or whatever, it could be like a nice little thing for a couple of teenagers, because they're so slim usually, to be part of that mini fashion show outside of your clothing shop. If you run a toy store, so you can have one of your sales associates at the door with a few games or toys to try with people who are passing by. So these are just a few things you can brainstorm for yourself for our outdoor marketing. And before I hand the mic back on that, this is one of my favorite segments. So since we're already outside, There's something to be said about door-to-door marketing. And I'm not talking about the Fuller Brush man or when people used to sell encyclopedias back in the Stone Age, but I'm talking about door-to-door marketing in the form of, like maybe nice, beautiful printed door hangers. So when people come home, they see this door hanger on their door, which it does not say do not disturb. It says something about your product or service. And also there is something to be said about leaflets through the mailbox. And this is where I'm going to play devil's advocate, because I looked into a little bit of research about this. 56% of consumers do consider print media more trustworthy than other types of media. So if you have a radio jingle going on about your business, that's okay, especially if you buy a lot of airtime and you have that jingle on constantly. But if you have something in print, again, that's the statistic, 56% of consumers trust what they see in print more than other forms of media. And an even better statistic is that 79% of households will read or at least scan through direct mail advertisements. That's why direct mail is such a giant business, and it kept the post office alive during the whole internet boom. So there is something to be said about some print marketing as well in the mailbox.
Heather, these things sound like fun.
Yeah,
I mean, this doesn't sound like work. This sounds like fun.
Yeah,
I feel like a kid again.
Fun to make money.
They're all great ideas. I mean, yeah, this is.
And it's great to have fun while you're making money, right?
Not a bad thing.
Right. So it draws positive attention to your storefront, or gives people something to talk about or to look at. So now my tip number 4 is, it seems teeny tiny because it's one of the shorter tips, but it can also parlay into something really nice for your business and also your brand. And that's something called giveaways. Giveaways, because who doesn't love free stuff? Now, having been a celebrity interviewer for almost 2 decades, so I can tell you that even there was no shortage of people who loved free stuff when it comes to movie T-shirts, jackets, whatever they would throw at us, bath mats, briefcases, sweaters. I have a jacket from a Daniel Day-Lewis movie, as if interviewing Daniel Day-Lewis wasn't enough. But he was in a movie, Last of the Mohicans. So they gave us a Calvin Klein jacket. And when I interviewed Robert Redford and Scarlett Johansson for The Horse Whisperer, they gave out denim, also Calvin Klein denim shirts, and I still have it. My daughter can't wait to borrow it. So all these free things, it's great. People love free stuff. They love free giveaways. So free stuff is good. And it's also good if you have a nice freebie to give away, because it's good for building your social media it's very good to put it on social media, these free giveaways, because this will help build your email list. So let's say that you have like this really cool thing to give away. So people will email you for it. Maybe if you want your email box, that's one thing. But if you have a website, they will they will sign up for it through your contact form, which means you will have their email, because you will be sending them their free thing. So it might be a download, or it might be some other thing. But this is one way, these freebies, these giveaways, to increase your email subscriber list. And that is great for business. And also, when it comes to giveaways, so you want to further your brand, make sure that your graphics are nice and dazzling and easy to read, so that people can actually visualize. If you're doing like a promotion of sort of a contest, they can visualize what the grand prize is. So summer is a good time to make your advertising and your giveaways, just make the look of it pop, dazzle. You can get all nice and subdued when it gets to be fall and winter, but this is the time to make things pop. So giveaways.
That's a cool idea. And I'm thinking too, there are a lot of not-for-profits that have events during the summer. They're awarding people gifts. Your gift could be the gift to your local not-for-profit awards at their events. So giving away things through charities is probably another way to get the word out.
Yes, yes. So actually, that would be just one tip ahead, which is tip number 6. And I'm glad you bring that up because more than ever, people are social minded, they're community minded, and customers really, really feel good about their purchase if it also will benefit some sort of local community or even some sort of national, international great cause. So, linking up with a charity, if your business in some way, even if you are an entrepreneur, if you can in some way partner with a great charity that does not necessarily have to be exactly in the same category as yours. The whole point is that you are doing some nice PR, furthering your brand and promoting your business because you are doing something altruistic. It's okay to use the word altruism. You're doing something that is good for the world, that's good for the community. So one other way you can do it, even if you're not partnering up, let's say with just the right promotion, but even if you are going to be perhaps donating some of your percentage of your sales. So this is a big thing that a lot of retailers do. Sometimes even at the cashier, like they'll ask you, would you also like to donate a penny or a dime toward this? And they just add it to your credit card slip. And people at the register, they don't want to feel like someone who's like really selfish. It's like, add a dime to that, but those dimes add up, and it's nice for the charity. But anyway, if you want to make it known that you are donating a percentage of your sales, great, make it known. It will help further your brand. Or let's say that you want to donate some of your products to a local charity, or if you're going to be partnering with them and creating a one-time event. So these are things you can do. If you're donating some of your products, so again, if you are a market and are donating some cases of water bottles to the local homeless shelter or something like that. There are things you can brainstorm with yourself and think, what sort of products of mine can I donate to this cause that means so much to me? And it really is okay. It doesn't take away from the fact that you are doing something charitable if you promote it. It's okay to promote it on your social media. You know why? It's not this selfish. Yes, it's a good business strategy, but it's not selfish. You know why? Because you are calling attention to this great charity that means something to you. It helps the charity and it inspires other people to be givers too. And that's a great thing. We want business owners and consumers like us, that everybody should be charity minded. So it's a win-win when we give back to our community.
Very smart.
And it feels really good when you give back too. I agree. Something I just want to bring up is if you think about a lot of the big conventions, conferences people go to, they actually give you a bag to go collect all the free stuff, and people are jamming the bag with it. It's like, give me the free stuff. And then if we look on the opposite end, when you go to I don't know if it's the Emmys or the Academies, but you get a gift bag full of stuff that's at a different level, and people can't wait to get the stuff.
If you're a presenter, if you're the journalist, I can tell you, I've covered many award shows. No, you get to interview people like Paul McCartney and Elton John, but you don't get, and you get, whatever they have on the buffet table, you don't get swag. If you're a presenter, you get swag. But if you're going to a convention that is not celebrity oriented and you're not a presenter, when you check in to a convention that you're going to, there's some really nice things. It's not just a bunch of business cards, right? People are upping their game and actually providing a lot of nice valuable things. So that's always nice. That's always nice. Do we have time to take a step back and go to tip number 5?
Sure, let's go for it.
So tip number 5, again, we're celebrating summer. So let's summarize the look of your promotions. Okay, so what that means is when you think fall, okay, and you're thinking of the look of fall, everyone thinks about oranges and browns, a little bit of black, a little bit of yellow, all of those subdued fall colors. But summer, again, we're celebrating, we're going big. And so your summer color palette with your promotion, this is one of those things you want to summarize. So this could mean your typography. This could mean the backgrounds on your social media settings, or backgrounds on your flyers, your leaflets, invitations. Make it nice and summery, and it'll help people stay in that summer vibe. So summer themes of your backgrounds, also like a little accent on your flyer, right? So one thing that's nice is, let's say that you're doing some sort of promotion. Again, it could be for a bank, or it can be for any type of store. So, sometimes I think that flyers that pop are the kinds that have a nice frame around it. So even if it's framed by little flip-flops, right, or little beach balls, or if there's a big beach ball in the back, some sort of thing to make it pop and feel summery, if you are actually going full force and doing some sort of promotion for the summer. So, your promotion, if you are doing some sort of event, so you'll have the details of your event, if there are promotional codes, sales information. These are just some of those things that you want to give it a little bit more of a summery look when you are doing a promotion. And I want to give a plug to a free service that I enjoy, and my assistant enjoys it. Basically people that I work with, they all like it because there's such a variety, is Canva. So Canva is free. The only thing you have to give over is all of your personal details, but it's worth it when you see all these really, really nice templates. So use some of those summer themed templates. Another good program is also Shutterstock. So Shutterstock is a clearinghouse with all kinds of, what would you call it, stock photos, but also stock videos. But Shutterstock has a thing called Shutterstock Editor Program. So that's something that you can use as part of, it's a platform where you can design some nice promotions as well, and make sure you summarize those promotions.
Wow.
I like that. Summarize. Summarize. That's excellent.
It's a cool idea. It's easy to remember. It's so easy to overlook. Such a smart thing to do.
Go ahead.
No, I was going to say, I just want to summarize where we are right now. So Heather has given us a few tips so far. We have launch, new product or service. That's number 1. We also have number 2, unique holiday themed promotions. Number 3, outdoor marketing. And number 4, giveaways. And we just heard number 5, summarize the look of your promotions. We've got some additional exciting tips and also a bonus tip. So stay with us. We just had a bunch of people join us on Facebook, so I just wanted to recap where we were. We're going to hear from some of our sponsors. We'll be right back. Let's hear from Margie Cedrone.
Brilliant.
Located at 121 Haddon Avenue in Westmont, New Jersey, is Margie Cedrone, artisan jeweler. Margie's been in business for more than 30 years. She works with her clients to create custom pieces of jewelry to reflect their personality and help them make their own bold statement. Starting in the renowned Jewelers Row in Center City, Philadelphia in 1988, Margie works directly with her clients to develop one-of-a-kind pieces such as necklaces, engagement rings, wedding bands, unique watches and tennis bracelets, as well as a myriad of rings and earrings for everyone in your family. She also has worked directly with Dr. Jacalyn over the years, creating unique pieces of jewelry to reflect her personality. She does pearl stringing and repairs on site at 121 Haddon Avenue. Call or text Margie at 215-384-7155. Margie Cedrone Jewelry is open by appointment only. Make your own bold statement.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Caruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Bella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book, Bella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Bella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Welcome back to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn. Getting comfortable with that whole bring them back in for the second break thing. It's fun.
It takes some pressure off me too, so thank you.
It takes a little bit of heat off of you, but I'll tell you, I'm so proud to be your co-pilot on this flight. And along for the flight with us, Heather Dean. And Heather, you've got other great tips for our audience. But before we talk about that, can companies call you? And a little later on, you're going to tell everybody how to reach you. But companies can call you to help you create programs like these great programs for them, can't they?
Sure, that would be a pleasure, and that is what I do. So what I do is I brand myself mostly as an interview coach, and the service that I run is called Nail Your Media Interview, and that is a coaching service where I do work with business owners and entrepreneurs to help them further and promote their business through media interviews. So there are plenty of fantastic social media marketing coaches out there. I deal with all the other media because that's where I have decades of experience. And I do mean decades, even though I'm only 27. No, I'm kidding, once again. But I have decades of experience in radio and in major television broadcasting and in print, publication, and podcasting. So I have been on the receiving end. So many pitches of people who want to be interviewed by me. And at the same time, I have also been on the other side where I am the one pitching. So when it comes to people who want to pitch and get their product or service promoted or their written work promoted through media interviews, this is exactly what I do. So so that's your media interview, and people can be in touch with me through a very simple email, which is HDP Coaching, and that's Heather Dean Productions. So that's where you get HDP Coaching at yahoo.com. They can email me directly, and we can set up a time to discuss coaching.
Great.
And I just have to give a plug out to Heather Dean because Heather and I have worked together and we'll work together again in the future. And I've also acknowledged her in my book. So thank you for all that you've done to help me.
Later on, if we have the time, I want to get back to the hints, the tips, because and they're all great. But if we have time later on, I want to explain to everybody out there how Heather Dean recently saved my butt on a celebrity interview. And I'll tell you all about that in a little bit. But let's go on with the tip.
I can't wait. Okay, good. We are up to tip number 7, which I kept for reasons.
We didn't do 6.
We did 6. I think was about the charities. Is that right?
Yes. Yes.
Okay. And because we skipped 5, so 5 is about summarizing the look of your promotion. So I think we're up to 7 now. Which I kept toward the end of the list. It's not tip number 8, but it's tip 7 because the summer is moving along, let's just say. And who doesn't love that endless summer classic song and mindset? The thing is, as summer is wrapping up, so the thing is that doesn't, especially school kids, right? But who doesn't want to hang on to those last vestiges of summer? So if you're watching this interview, let's say on the replay, which I encourage you to always watch Dr. Jacalyn shows on demand. If you can't be there live, watch them on demand. I have, and I'm so glad I do. And if you're seeing this towards the end of summer, so you want your customer base, they also want to cling on to summer. So this is where you can flash those promotions that say act now, right? You can announce exclusive summer offerings and end of summer offerings. You can release limited offerings, because what it does to release limited offerings is it creates that sense of urgency. So that's why you often hear on ads that say act now, call now, limited supply, or purchases while supplies last. So this is a good thing to have in mind any season while supplies last, but especially when you're getting to end of summer. This is, you can go to any clothing store and shoe store, and that even if it's midsummer, those shop owners, they need to clear those shelves because the fall inventory has got to roll in at some time. Back to school, they've got to get kids ready with their fall gear and fall clothing and all that. So just as the clothing stores and shoe stores are going to have end of summer sales, even if it's still end of July, early August, it's because they've got to clear those shelves. So you be that sort of person who doesn't miss out and create that sense of end of summer urgency at any time.
Wonderful.
So that's number 7. Okay, so tip number 8 is an evergreen tip, and this is for any time that for whatever reason you're stepping back from your business, or if you're planning a holiday, or hopefully if there's a celebration coming up in your family. So you might just need to step away. So we all know what it's like when you need to forward those emails or have an auto reply on your email about I've stepped away from the office and I'll be returning on whatever date. It's far into the future often. I especially love when someone has an out of office reply and that date already passed, right? When they're supposed to return to work and they just didn't remember to fix up their auto reply. But anyway, if you are going away on a summer holiday, you can plan ahead. Be a smart business owner and plan ahead. So if you are like Dr. Jacalyn and doing the smart thing by utilizing social media to help promote your business and your great shows and to further your brand. So on social media, it's quite possible, just create those blog posts, create whatever it is that you're writing, because not everyone blogs, I get that, but a lot of people do social media posts. So you can create those in advance while you are packing your bags or planning your summer holiday getaway. So have that done. If you are the sort of person who blogs and you do research and writing, and you put a lot of thought into your writing. So again, plan ahead and do that, because summer is not an endless summer. And I wanted to give a shout out to 3 great programs that if you want to schedule your hosts in advance. So my own director of operations, she likes a service called Hootsuite, which is HOOT Suite, SUITE. So Hootsuite is a good one to plan in advance how you're going to roll out your social media posts. There's also a service I hear very good things about. I don't use it, not yet anyway, but it's called TweetDeck. So that's TWEET, Deck, DECK. So that's also something, sounds like a Twitter type of plan in advance tool. Again, I don't use it, and I'm not on Twitter so much. Then also Facebook is also, they do have a service where you can plan in advance and then roll out. I know for sure LinkedIn does the same thing, because my director of operations posts every day, but some of these are written well in advance. And I do remember there was a time, unfortunately, she had to take a week off because of a family situation she had to attend to. And so she had her posts already ready, scheduled, and time marched on and business marched on. So it's a very smart thing to do, is to plan ahead if you're going away on holiday.
Wow. Cool.
I like that whole idea of planning ahead. I actually use Hootsuite, and I find it really helpful because you can schedule in advance for your social media posts. They have a limit on the free account, but it definitely is worthwhile because it takes a lot of that pressure off of you, especially if you're a business owner. You have so many things to do. So plan ahead, like Heather says.
Yeah, I'm thinking, while Heather was talking, I was thinking about your activity, Dr. Jacalyn, on Clubhouse. And I know you love Clubhouse. I haven't had a chance to use it much, and it's exciting to me. But you could create a Clubhouse, a room, right, called Hit the Beach, and use that as a way to gather a lot of people around and create energy around what you're doing this summer.
That's a great point, Al.
I hear the clicking away. Someone's doing that right now. They're developing a Clubhouse.
Downloading the app as we speak.
I say this all the time. I am not a paid spokesperson. I'm waiting for the check. Please send the check. But if you are not on Clubhouse, okay, I don't know what you're doing. You're missing a huge opportunity. I have met people from all over the world. I'm doing business with them now. I never would have met them otherwise. And it's such a great experience as a business owner. You can go in and just listen in their rooms that have all kinds of topics that you can never even imagine. And you can create your own room, as Al just said. And so you can get people, you can get customers from that, in addition to getting networking folks as well as business partners.
Right. Clubhouse. I just want to say it's so huge that other platforms and other companies are getting in on the game of Clubhouse by doing their own Clubhouse, inspired platforms. It's growing, and there's a great article and interview by Joanna Stern, who is the editor-in-chief of all things tech for the Wall Street Journal. So she did a great interview. I posted it on my social media that introduces what is Clubhouse and why it's effective, why it's growing, and why it shows no signs of slowing down. So I think Jacalyn gets an A+ for a shout out to Clubhouse, because you can use it for fun and also for business. Why not?
And I think one thing that's great about it is, at least I feel this way, it's audio only. So you don't have to have your makeup done. You don't have to have your hair washed. You don't have to be in a certain setting. It's just audio only, and it's a very easy way to be authentic. People do not have up all the walls that they usually have up, and you're going to hear really personal insights from people that you wouldn't hear otherwise. Even a lot of the celebrities are over on Clubhouse as well.
A lot of energy on that platform, definitely.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah.
So there's a bonus tip too, isn't there?
Yeah. So my bonus tip is this is the best kept secret from media experts who land their clients on big TV shows, small TV shows, and the best kept secret is the calendar. Okay, so there are all throughout the calendar year, there are all kinds of holidays that you probably didn't know existed beyond the regular Mother's Day, Father's Day, and Thanksgiving and New Year. There are so many quirky, offbeat, not standard holidays and remembrances that are on the calendar, and I just love researching these. But also, because for me it's fun, but for people that I work with, it also can often tie into your business. And these are real established remembrances. So I'll give you an example of something that is coming up tomorrow that you may not have known, but June 10th is National Iced Tea Day, right? So iced tea. So what you can expect to see probably for somebody who is on the ball is it might be on the morning shows or your local TV talk shows or your local TV newscasts when they do the fun segments, is some sort of promotion that has to do with National Iced Tea Day. Now, iced tea, you might think, how are they going to turn that into a TV segment? But you totally could, because let's say that you are a bar owner. So a smart person would pitch their local newscast or their local talk shows and say, this would have been 2 weeks ago, but they would have said, oh, coming up on June 10th, that's National Iced Tea Day. I run Joe's Bar, and not me, but Joe. runs Joe's Bar, and I would like to. I would offer to come onto your show and show how to mix different iced teas beyond just the regular Long Island iced tea, right? So this is something that Joe's media marketing specialist or publicist should be on the ball and pitch the local TV shows or the local newspaper. Sometimes even, the Today Show and the morning shows, there's long shows that they do need to fill time, and not just about world news and national news. At some point, you get Al Roker, who does the features, the human interest. And so, Al Roker, and that's NBC, but whether it's the other networks, they all have their own producers who are also looking for really cool, different ways to get the airtime filled. But it really needs to be a good pitch. This is where I come in, is helping people develop a really good pitch to hopefully land good spots in the media. So that's just National Iced Tea Day. But if you have pen and paper handy, so I thought of business owners who might be watching, listening, because coming up on June 11th is Corn on the Cob Day. So a great one for restaurants. June 12th, Red Rose Day. June 17th, Eat Your Vegetables Day. And do you see how Eat Your Vegetables Day, this can be something great, a great opportunity for so many different kinds of businesses, or parenting groups, or you never know, like there's endless possibilities for Eat Your Vegetables Day. June 22, Onion Ring Day. June 24, Swim a Lap Day. June 25, Take Your Dog to Work Day. Listen to this. Also June 25, Please Take My Children to Work Day. June 26, Chocolate Pudding Day. So Chocolate Pudding Day, you might think, great, I don't work for Jell-O, this doesn't apply to me, but it totally applies to you. Because Chocolate Pudding Day, for certain businesses that deal with, or certain services that deal with families or deal with dieting, there's all kinds of diet chocolate pudding. People, outfits that deal with frozen food. There's a lot of possibilities even for Chocolate Pudding Day, and that's just me brainstorming right now. In a real brainstorm session, someone who wants to promote themselves can somehow think of some sort of angle, even on Chocolate Pudding Day. June 29th, Camera Day. June 30th is Meteor Watch Day. July 5th is Workaholics Day. July 9th, Sugar Cookie Day. July 13th, Embrace Your Geekness Day. So anyone who's in tech, or wants to be in tech, there's a lot of possibilities there. And it doesn't just have to be tech, people that are into all kinds of studies. July 21, Junk Food Day. July 23, Vanilla Ice Cream Day. July 28, Milk Chocolate Day. July 29th, Lasagna Day. July 30th, National Cheesecake Day. So again, if you're a chef, if you're a recipe writer, if you run a restaurant or a coffee house, can you imagine that this is the time you should be pitching National Cheesecake Day to your local outlets, to your national outlets, and offer to do a cheesecake demonstration, offer to let the anchors do a tasting of the different cheesecakes that you sell. Okay, so this applies to cheesecake, but again, any of these different kinds of foods. August 1, National Girlfriend Day. August 1 is also Sisters Day. August 2, Ice Cream Sandwich Day. August 3, Watermelon Day. And Dr. Jacalyn, August 4th is Single Working Women's Day. So all the single ladies can celebrate that day because we're all working. August 9th, Book Lovers Day, another one for Jacalyn. August 11th, Son and Daughter Day. August 12th, this is for me, Middle Child Day. So I'll be promoting myself in some way, you can bet. August 13th, Left Handers Day. We have 3 more to go. August 8th is Mail Order Catalog Day. August 29th, Dog Appreciation Day. And August 31 is National Eat Outside Day. So these are all holidays, believe it or not, that have real national recognition. And you can parlay this into some sort of promotion for your business or service.
That's such a clever idea. And you mentioned Workaholics Day. I think that's coming up in July. And I thought of you, Dr. Jacalyn. That's another day you won't.
I'll be celebrating that one for sure.
That's wonderful. Those are great ideas.
Really smart, Heather. I love it.
Jacalyn is a workaholic because she loves what she does. She loves people. the people that you introduced to the world, Dr. Jacalyn, it's so amazing. You remember the artist that you had on? She's a musician, an animator, an artist. I forgot her name, but her mother
Angela.
Was that special?
Oh.
You're such a great interviewer. She was such a special guest. I'm telling you, you have to just put on Dr. Jacalyn's network 24 hours and meet the world. But speaking of workaholics, so when you love what you do, right? Workaholism can kick in, I guess.
Very cool.
Yes, I think it's true, and I appreciate those comments. I feel like, as the producer, when I get to read the background or I get to watch the clips of the people coming on, like last night I had 2 clips from people. I literally sat here in tears because I was so moved by the journey of the people. And I thought, I am so lucky that I am in this role to be able to bring these people and have them share their stories.
Great stories to be able to tell. And it's great to have you around to make sure everybody hears those stories.
Well, thanks. I couldn't do it without either of you guys. So thank you very much. You've been a big part of this journey.
Heather, before we run, I'm going to tell you how you saved my butt. I recently had the opportunity to interview Corbin Burnson for 15 minutes. And I had like 3 minutes notice on that with no pre-written questions. And the first thing I did was freak out. And then I thought to myself, what would Heather Dean do? And I settled in. I found out before the interview what Corbin was trying to sell. And I focused all the questions on what he was trying to sell. And the guy lit up like a Christmas tree. It was a wonderful 15 minutes. And you taught me how to do that. So thank you.
That's very good. Very good community relations is to help them sell their product. So it's the best icebreaker is what are they promoting. I'm glad it worked out.
Well, you're an expert.
I'm a big fan. I watched every episode of LA Law. It's fantastic. It's a good get to get Corbin Burnson.
Definitely. Heather, I'm so glad that you were here today. We're going to have you back again. As we just talked about, I'm going to try to make it over I will make it over there. When I go to London, I'll come and see you as well. But let's try to catch up over the weekend or Monday or Tuesday if you're around.
Fantastic. Looking forward.
All right. Thanks.
Also, thank you, Jacalyn.
Thank you, Heather.
Thank you. Thank
Wonderful
you.
program.
We'll see you again. I just love her, don't you?
Great interview. It was wonderful. And I mean, it's always great to have Heather on the program. She knows so much, and that makes her a great guest. But in this particular case, she's talking about selling during the summer. A lot of people, I think, as you said in the top of the program, are afraid to even try. And if they listen to Heather and they wrote some of those points down, or they go back and watch on YouTube, follow some of those rules, you can make a killing this summer just by using the summer.
Definitely. In fact, someone just said to me recently, instead of using the word pandemic, they changed it to plandemic. So actually getting out there and all the plans maybe you've developed during the pandemic, put them into action, people. Get out there, make it happen. Yeah. Heather just gave 8 amazing tips. Let's just run through them again. The first is launch a new product or service.
Just do it.
Second, just do it. Plan unique holiday themed promotions around 4th of July. Think about all the major department stores, Macy's, for example. I know July 4th, they're having a blowout. Okay, you can go on their website. Sometimes the website goes down because there's so many people on there because they've got all these promotions. Don't quote me on that, by the way. Okay, third is outdoor marketing. Fourth, giveaways. We love that. I love this one. Summarize the look of your promotions.
Smart.
Give back to your local community. Endless summer, act now. By the way, how many times have we heard this? Get this, and you'll also get a set of Ginsu knives or Lee press-on nails. Like, as ridiculous as it sounds, you remember the Ginsu knives.
There's a reason why they do that.
Right.
Take advantage of it.
And the 8th one, going away on holiday, plan ahead. There's a lot of tools out there to help plan your social media, to help you with strategies. So don't wait. Start right now. And also, if you want to work with an expert, that's Heather Dean. And I work with her. She's phenomenal. She's helped me so much. A shout out to Ashley Owens, who was the reason we got connected. And thank you again. Her website is heatherdeanproductions.com. Mr. Cini, it's been lovely seeing you twice today, as always on a Wednesday.
It's a pleasure for me. I love Wednesdays for that reason.
I know, it's great. Before we leave, though, I want to have you talk a little bit about A Better You, because our next program is A Better You. You actually had the genius idea to come up with A Better You, which are lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. And we have a huge launch coming up July the 1st. So why don't you tell us what A Better You is and why people should care?
Well, in fact, we just saw a great example of A Better You. I mean, if you go back and rewatch Heather's interview, which you should do, it's great, a lot of information there. What Heather did was offer a 9-point program to help your marketing efforts in the summer. That is the essence of A Better You. There are people out there like Heather who are expert in their fields, could be marketing, could be engineering, accounting, anything, that knows something that other people could benefit by learning. And 15-minute micro lessons in what you're an expert in help the world by teaching them what you know and that they can use, by giving them information they can use. And also it helps you because there are people out there who need your help, but they haven't met you and they don't know you. And it's a chance to get in front of those people and create connections that could lead the business. And I'll tell you, ultimately and finally, and maybe most important, practicing the answer to the question, what do you do for a living and how does that make a difference? It's never a bad thing. And A Better You is a chance. You get more than one, so you can try it over and over again. To get in front of an audience and explain to the world what it is you do that makes you different. And it's a great exercise for you. So that's A Better You to me. How does it sound to you?
It sounds like a song. That's A Better You to me. How does it sound? And I think you hit on something else, which is a lot of us have not been on a stage presenting, and this is a great way for you to actually force yourself to come up with a 15-minute presentation. You get to present on this stage, which again, we are live streaming anywhere between 10 and 12 platforms, and then we become a podcast on 6. So you get the exposure for yourself as well as for your business. The second part of it is we're rolling out this online learning platform July the 1st. So you can come on and do your lesson, make your presentation. Then we'll ask you to put together a 5-question quiz. And then we take the quiz and the lesson, and we ask you to put together, we like 8 to 10 lessons, and you get a playlist on our site. Why does this matter? Because you get passive income. People are going to this site. Oh, look, Heather Dean's on here. Oh, look, Al Cini's on here. While you're working, doing your thing, people are spending money to buy your lesson because they then take a quiz and then they get certified. So they get certified by Dr. Jacalyn and also by the content creator. While you're there, we're going to have a reward and recognition program. And also you get an opportunity to get special prizes and gifts for Journey to a Better You, which is our in-person event that's going to be the 2nd or 3rd week of October in 2022 in either Orlando or Nashville. And that's not just for coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors, right? Al, it's for people in HR.
I wanted it to be on a cruise ship, and I'm still quietly lobbying for that. But Orlando and Nashville are great destinations too.
We go back and forth because I feel like a cruise ship, no offense, people, but I feel like it's a floating prison because you're literally trapped on there. So at least that was my... the weather was really bad. So anyway, I'll give it another try. But so that's what's all about A Better You. And you can actually go to abetteryou.tv. I'm streaming that right now, and you can book your session. So we're running a special promotion right now, special summer promotion. Go over to abetteryou.tv. Also, if you want to contact Heather Dean, I'm going to just put her email address quickly as I copy and make a banner. And please feel free to reach out to her here. And for the people on the radio, the email address, it says I have too many banners. Hold on. This is what you have to do when you're producing. Okay, you just have to go on the fly. Here it is. Okay, the email address for Heather Dean is HDP, Heather Dean Productions, _ coaching @yahoo.com. Again, H is in Heather, D is in Dean, P is in Productions, _coaching @yahoo.com. All right, my friend, I think that's a wrap for now. It's great seeing you. I'm just going to close out the
today.
show.
What a great program. Always great. I'll see you again next Wednesday. I know.
Right,
there we go.
All right, I'll see you again. Bye.
Thanks, Doc.
Thank you again for watching. As I mentioned, this is our third show today. We had Celebrate Great Britain Royally Rich show, which was unbelievable. If you missed that show, please head over to our YouTube channel. We had 2 performers today, one from the Future Youth Center and the other one, ILO. We also had a special guest appearance by Mo Pleasure. And of course, our hosts, our stars of our show, Ian Pelham Turner, Helena Shard, and of course Al Cini. So you want to go over and make sure you see that. Then we had the Underdogs show with Sarah Bigham. Unbelievable. The woman went to the Amazon by herself with one cameraman, and she actually integrated herself into a tribe, living there authentically without clothes, living the same way that they were living. They made her a queen, and she did a documentary on it called Amazon Souls, and you can find that on Amazon. I think it's also on Disney and Hulu, but don't quote me on that. So I will be back a little bit later for our next show, which is A Better You, where we will have our expert presenters. And then our last show of the day for today is In the Name of Love. My last thing is a thank you. I said this earlier today. I became a best-selling author June 4th, 2021. At exactly 4:50, and I keep this as a reminder myself when I'm feeling overwhelmed that you can do anything. I started the book in February, finished it in May, and May 22nd it was published, and there it is. So thank you to all of you who bought my book. Thank you for the testimonials, to Al, to Heather, and to my other colleagues and friends who supported me. I really appreciate all of you. Thanks again. We'll see you soon.
For nearly 2,000 severely injured veterans, everyday life has become filled with barriers.
Day-to-day simple tasks can become pretty daunting.
I have to carry my chair up 2 flights of steps or have somebody do it for me.
What scares me the most is just the falling.
When I'm struggling with my house, I think, to have that one great barrier just knocked down, it's crucial.
Home for Our Troops is a wonderful nonprofit that builds a mortgage-free, fully adaptive, handicap-accessible house.
And there's no catch.
It'll be our very first home that we've ever owned. This is a game changer.
This is where your life begins again.
We need you to join us in completing this important mission. Please visit hfotusa.org and help build homes and rebuild lives.
Because of you, everything's going to be okay.